Mr. Ben, good to have you. You're welcome, sir. Hello, Mr. Ben.
Hello, Sam. Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm good, are you?
Fine. Is Mr. Victor connected now? Farm monitor.
We're waiting for Mr. Victor. I've sent him the link twice, so still waiting for me.
Okay. People are connected now.
Okay, I think I have permission to share my screen now.
We need to do the introduction now. That's Sam. Sam. So we can start now, right?
Yeah, we can start. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you today, 6th of April, 2024. Live here with me is Samuel Finger as Chief Marketing Officer for MAIS. Sorry, a bit distracted here. So, like I was saying, my name is Samuel Dindas, Chief Marketing Officer for MAIS Limited. Here with me is my CVO, Mr. Ben Julie, Mr. Victor, Farm Monitor, Everett, Mrs. Glory, and Lamide. Good to have you guys joining me live here, where we talk about this OPSIS invitation to explain in details why we are here. After 14 years of dedicated development, we are thrilled to announce that we are finally ready to embark on the assembly phase of our Airbus 380 size SME Solution Ecosystem. This monumental achievement marks a significant milestone in our journey towards revolutionizing the landscape of smallholder farming in Nigeria and across Africa. In light of this achievement, we cordially invite you to participate in this MAISAi Farm Monitor Implementation meeting, which Mr. Victor is here to explain to us. This gathering serves as a pivotal movement for access to capital, access to technology, and access to market partners to come together and witness the culmination of years of hard work and innovation. During this meeting, our esteemed panelists will conduct a comprehensive review of the Farm Monitor and its associated solution tailored specifically for smallholders farmers in Nigeria and beyond. This platform, hosted by Connect Multimedia, will provide a unique opportunity for stakeholders to get insights into the transformative potential of our offering and explore avenue and collaboration. In summary, we are here to explore the advantage of Farm Monitor. We are here to also do an insights review. We are here for networking. We are here for market expansion. Nigeria, as it stands, we are not actually utilizing our potential in agriculture, and that is why we are here to have a review and talks about it and how we can be able to push forward our narratives to becoming the food producing nation in Nigeria that can self-sustain ourselves and also in Africa and globally. So join us to embark on this transformative journey towards building a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable agricultural ecosystem for smallholders farmers in Nigeria and African lives. Here with me is Mr. Victor, who will take up the stage after I meet myself. Thank you very much.
Good morning once again. I am Victor. I'm from Farm Monitor, and I'll be walking us through the Farm Monitor platform. And while I do that,
can you speak a bit louder? Your mouth
okay.
is like your...
Okay. Is it better now?
Awesome.
Okay. So as I said, I will be presenting and demonstrating Well, I'll be doing more of demonstration. Deal is showing you what is possible. So Farm Monitor is a platform. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so that's my presentation. Farm Monitor is a platform that was built for the agriculture ecosystem, and over the years that we've been in operation, we have built a platform that services farmers and also people who manage farmers. So whether you work directly on the farm or you don't work directly on the farm, but you have you have farmers in your portfolio, Farm Monitor is your tool. And what we do is this. To the farmer, we make it possible for farmers to be able to farm in the best way possible, using precision, using data, being able to make the right decisions at the right time. We give them all the information they need to be able to achieve that. That's to the farmers. And at the end of the season, they are able to get the best return on their investment. To those who manage farmers, you could be financing farmers, whether through loans or through grants, or you could be a bank who has an agricultural arm. You could be anything. As long as you have farmers in your portfolio who you oversee, Farm Monitor is also for you. And what Farm Monitor does for you is it gives you visibility, so you can see what is happening to your farmers and to the farms of your farmers. It helps you to coordinate things. And at the end of the season, the farmers get a good yield, you get profit for whatever investment. If you give them input or you give them some sort of support, whatever your goal was, you are also happy at the end of the season. And at the end of the day, everybody wins. Both you win, the farmers win also. So I will try to just talk about some of the features before I show you the features on Farm Monitor. So here we have 9 functionality. We try to summarize everything into 9 things that can be done on Farm Monitor. First is Farm Monitor is a centralized farmer database with farm and farmer audit systems. So if you want to be able to have all your farmers and all your farms in one place, have all the farmers tied to their farms, whether by location, you want to know where the farms are, who are the owners of the farms. You just want to have all this data in one location. Farm Monitor does this. And it also helps you ensure that two farmers don't claim one farm. That's what the audit system on Farm Monitor does. Also, Farm Monitor is a warehouse management system such that if you have a store, things, Farm Monitor helps you to keep track of what's going on when things are depleted, when you need to restock, and that process, Farm Monitor sorts that out for you as an organization or even as a farm. Service. So you have farmers and you have people who are supposed to keep checking on the farmers. Farm Monitor has a system of helping you organize the process. Organize to the point of knowing where your extension workers are while they are giving you data from each of those farms. So how do I know that the extension workers are actually giving me the right input or right data from the farms? Farm Monitor already has that covered. Also, Farm Monitor is a data collection tool. If you want information, if you want data, you want to be able to make decisions. For instance, you are a fertilizer company. You want to test your fertilizers and you have set up demo plots for your farm and you want to compare this fertilizer and that fertilizer, which one does better? Farm Monitor is your tool also. Farm Monitor is also an integrated knowledge management information system. Because of our integration with artificial intelligence and machine learning, we're able to provide support to both farmers and farmer financiers knowledge on what's going on their projects, on their farms, and keep track of everything as they should be. Also, Farm Monitor is a digital climate information system. These are some of the things I will show you later. Farm Monitor is able to track farm health based on satellite imagery, track farm health based on data, and a few other sources. But it's able to give you farm recommendations based on the climate situation at any given point in time. Of course, you can't separate GIS and remote sensing. It's one of the ways we are able to tell you how well your farm is doing at any point in time in the season. And then we have security features, which we are in the process of rolling out. This feature allows you to know the health condition, not just health basically, but security state of your farm and of your farmers that you manage. So if there is insurgency, they are able to send an SOS to the office or to whoever is supposed to receive this SOS request, and then can be routed to wherever it should be, and security operatives can be deployed as fast as possible. And then lastly, monitoring farm performance and product. So you want to know how much yield came from each farm? This is Farm Monitor can make that happen. So if your farmers are doing work when they should work, Farm Monitor makes that happen. If you want to know if the farmers are supposed to apply fertilizer on a certain day, or you've given them funds and the next fund is supposed to come add on some certain things on the farm, farmers have done this and which ones have left their farm bare and are not continuing the process and are still expecting to get the next batch of funds or batch of input. You are able to distinguish every farmer to know who to continue supporting and who to let go based on their performance on the farm. Okay, now having summarized this is summary of what Farm Monitor does. Now I would like to show you what Farm Monitor does. I also make it quick so that questions I'll be able to afterwards. Just give me one moment to share my screen.
Okay, thank you very much for that your wonderful presentation, Mr. Victor. Mr. Ben, over to you.
Okay, so I was about to
He needs to do
should I hold on?
Before you do the no. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Victor.
Yes.
Hello, Victor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to just take observation if any of the panelists is logged on now. So I wanted to just take note of that before you go into the actual demonstration. Okay, I can see Mr. Demolo Okewo. Mr. Okewo, can you please just identify yourself, please? Just do your introduction, introduce yourself, please, so that we would know that you are available and you are ready to view the practical demonstration on the Farm Monitor platform.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay.
We can
So
hear
my
you.
name is Ademola Okeowo. I'm the CEO of Greater Ireland Investments Limited and farmer aggregator on cooperative platforms. So I have been following the presentation and I'm eager to know more. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Okewo. So any other questions we have here? Mr. Isaac, Mr. Samuel Adeni Jimmy, if you have any questions for Mr. Victor, we can provide you. Mr. Favorite, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, good morning. Yeah.
Morning.
Yeah. Please, I have a question because you made mention of we can track your fertilizer using this farm monitor. So I want to ask, is there like a system or a technology in place whereby you can make the fertilizer that is better for your crop?
Please, are you your name and which farm you handle so that we can able to
Okay, okay.
answer your
Favor,
question?
favored by name, I'm from Vope.
Okay, Vokpe.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Victor, over to you.
Okay, all right. Mr. Favorite, thank you for your question. So your question was, is there a way to know which fertilizer is better? So yes, there is a way to know fertilizer is better. And how it works is that, of course, you would have to set up two farms and use one fertilizer here and one fertilizer on the other farm. And then with our remote sensing tools, you'll be able to know which of the farms are doing better by things like by monitoring NDVI levels, RECI values. So that tells you the amount of chlorophyll on the leaf, and it gives you insights to know which fertilizer did better. Because of course they should be beside each other so that every other condition would be the same except the fertilizer that is different. And then that tells you how your farm is doing. And also, of course, because we're integrated with artificial intelligence, it writes out something that gives you more insight. So in case you are somebody who does not understand what NDVI values are, what NDMI values are, AI is able to explain that to you.
Okay, that's okay.
Thank you, Favorite.
I'll go ahead with the presentation, the other presentation you want to do, and then we can.
All right. All right. Okay. I believe you can see my screen. Please, I'd just like to be sure you can see my screen. If you can let me know in the chat or you could say it out.
Yes.
We can see your screen.
Okay.
We can all see your screen.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Okay. All right. So this is Farm Monitor. The Farm Monitor is accessible from farmmonitor.africa. And we pride ourselves on the fact that we help you track, monitor, measure, manage, and improve farm yields by up to 70%. And this is just conservatively, we're just trying to be modest. We have a web application. Basically, we have two web applications and we have two mobile apps. And I'll tell you why. We have two of both. So to get started, I would log in. The reason why we have two web applications and two mobile applications is because we service two kinds of users: the farmers themselves and organizations to manage farmers. And we don't want to choke it together. So you log in from the same place where you can decide where to. Gives logging into my account. Okay, so like I said, it's one login location, but this is my personal farm account, and these are organizations that I administer. So if I want to manage any of these two organizations, I can go into any of these two. But right now, I want to log in as a farmer. Okay. Yeah, so where I land is my portfolio. Farms I have, how many farmers working for me, my managers, my stakeholders, my budget, my expenses, and this is cut across all my farms. I haven't chosen which farm I want to monitor at the moment. I can see upcoming activities for all my farms, just a summary of it. I can see work done, expense, schedule. I'll explain all these charts later on. Just want to give us an overview. I can see my top performing farms, my top productive farms. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what my portfolio gives me. But from here, I can switch into any farm. So let us go into one. Okay. All right. So I'll be using this farm for this presentation, for this demonstration rather. This is my dashboard. And on my dashboard, it tells me I can record an activity, I can record a harvest, I can view reports, I have a settings, and I can share access to this farm. Before I show you what those buttons do, let me just walk you through this dashboard. This is my farm. This farm was a maize farm, 2023/2024 year, and it was a raining season farm, which means the season has ended. It was last year's rainy season. And I can see my progress here in percentage, and not just in percentage, but it tells me where I am right now. I'm already at harvesting. Basically, the season is over, so I'm at harvesting 100%. At the beginning of the season, this bar would be 0%. And as you start doing things, as you clear the land, you plant, you spray, as you keep going along, the bar keeps growing. I have on the right hand side, I have upcoming activities. How do we know what activities are supposed to be upcoming? Farm Monitor comes as soon as you create a farm. A calendar, custom made, is created for that farm, which I will show you later. But this calendar is unique because it's not a calendar like the one you hang on your wall that stays steady. This calendar adjusts itself based on conditions of the farm and based on what you say that you are doing on the farm. So for instance, if ideally the calendar says you should plant on the 1st of June, for instance, and you planted on the 10th of June, every other thing has to adjust to accommodate the fact that you planted on the 10th of June. That's how dynamic it is. If rain was expected to fall on a certain day, and for some reason things changed along the way, and it will affect your yield, it adjusts things around and sends you a message and say, hey, this activity you're supposed to perform on this day has been moved either a day forward or a day backward, as the case may be. And this is the reason why that was done. So it's a dynamic calendar that adjusts itself based on conditions and based on what you say you're doing on the farm. Okay. Here you have some analytics telling you when the season should start, when you should start land preparation, estimated dates and actual dates. So we also take note of the date you really started. And mind you, you don't have to come and say, this is the day I started land preparation. No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to come and do that here necessarily. All you need to do is just keep recording your daily activities. Just keep recording. The system will gather all this together to be able to give you your analytics as the season goes by. Also, it gives you expected yield, actual yield, how much sale you should expect at the end of the season, etc. Here we have our yield predictor, which will be launching very soon. And this feature is a graph that tells you how much yield to expect at any given point in time in the season. So if there is a dry spell and rains are stopping, the graph goes down, meaning that something is not right and your expected yield is dropping. And when you don't perform an activity on the correct day you should, based on all the analysis that have been done for you, there is a chance that the graph will also fall. But it's picking up information from your farm based on satellite imagery. If chlorophyll levels are low, possibly due to whatever reasons you didn't fertilize when you should, the graph goes low. So at any point in the season, you are able to know what to expect. Here we have three charts. One is work done, expense, and schedule. So this just basically gives you an overview of how much work is expected to be done this season, how much work is due to be done, and how much work you've actually done. And planting is a work, fertigation is a work, those kinds of works on the farm. Same for expense, how much is in the budget, and as at today, what should you have spent? And then actual tells you how much you've actually spent in percentages. And schedule is, are you doing things on time? Are you late? Are you early? That kind of thing. Here gives you overview, summary of some of your most recent activities, harrowing, all those kinds of things. Here shows you your harvest. Now that's summary. Back to the top. This is how you record an activity. It's very simple. Just choose a date that the activity happened. Then, was it an input you applied? Was it labor? Did you get people to work for you? Was it a machine you hired or you used? Is it logistics? Did you feed people? Did you transport people? That kind of thing. Other services include things like insurance, all those other monies you spend that you sometimes can't tie to any physical farm activity. You put them in other services. Now, for instance, if it's mechanization, you choose what the activity was, region, you put a cost. Let's just assume it will cost you 10,000 naira. Then what size of the farm did you work on this particular day? Sometimes you may not know. That's why we have a map feature here that gives you the map, the boundaries of your farm, and then you can adjust it to let us know, oh, okay, so we worked on half of the farm today. And then once you do that, it gives you the size, this is in hectares, the size of the farm that was worked on. Now, we ensure that you're not able to put any size that is above the size of the farm. So just in case it just checks for foul play, basically. And then lessons learned is a very crucial part. Now here, you are allowed to say anything you want to say. Just talk. This was what I learned. This was what I observed. Just write it. Artificial intelligence at the end of the day brings all this together to help to give you insights to how your season went. At any point in time, you can ask. And we have, okay, I'll talk about that later. But let me just, okay, so that has gone. All right, now that's for activity. You do that, you could come again and record something else, an input that you used, the quantity and all that. Okay, same thing for harvest. When you are harvesting, you just record what you harvested, how it was done. And reports is when you want to download spreadsheets and send to someone on things going on the farm. I'll talk about that later. We have a special page for that, for you to see all different kinds of reports. Before I go on, we have an assistant here called FarmPal, which you can ask anything about this farm. Whenever I switch my farm, I can ask FarmPal about that farm. So as you're recording activities, as you're getting things done, you can just go there and say, when did I apply fertilizer? It's going to tell you. If you say, you could ask it basically anything. Questions revolving around agriculture and revolving around this particular farm. FarmPal is very helpful with that. Okay, next, I said I was going to show you about the calendar. A calendar is a calendar, like I said, it's dynamic. And things in green are the things you did. Things in blue are the things that you were supposed to do. So for instance, this is blue. I was supposed to harrow, and it gives me an idea of the cost. And then it also gives me best practices. So like you can see, based on your planting date, it just tells you things that you should do, the way you should do it and how you should do it. Okay, that's how the calendar works. And like I already said earlier, it changes, it adjusts itself and sends you a message whenever that happens. Here I can see all my activities. These are a list of my activities, all the things I've been doing on my farm with the cost attached. And not just that, I can also see where the record was taken from. That's if the record was done using the mobile application. For these ones that you see not available, that location not available, it means that these were recorded from a laptop. And of course, the laptop does not have location sensors, so we can't note where the laptop was, the exact spot. But if it was done from the mobile app, I can see that, and it can tell me how far away this person was from the farm. If this person was close to the farm, I would have seen the farm boundaries in this same screen. So if I zoom out properly, I'll be able to, I should see the farm somewhere, but I don't want to bore you that this person is in Ibadan. Yeah, the person, this record was taken from Ibadan, and this farm is in Jos. So you will see a small blue dot here, just so that you get the idea. Let me zoom in properly. So if you are taking records of a farm that is in Jos and you're in Ibadan, I think your records should be questioned. So this just gives you audit of what's going on the farm. And that's how this record happened to be 601 kilometers away from the farm. Okay. At the top, there was this chart. There's this chart here that just gives you an idea of your budget along with your actual spending for each category. So for inputs, this is how much you spent, 165K. And for the whole season, you're supposed to spend 1.03 million. And it does that kind of comparison for you for all the different categories. So you can move spending or underspending. Now, farm health. Farm health. This is a very crucial part for both farmers and farmer financiers. They want to know how healthy the farm is. Because Farm Monitor does not work with it works with the location of the farm, but even more, it works with the boundaries of the farm. Because we want to know where the farm started and where it ended so that we can properly recommend for you. So if you, here we monitor, there are 3 ways, by the way, to monitor farm health. One is using satellite images, weather. The second is weather. The third is supervisor images. For satellite images, we have 4 indices. One of them is NDMI. This basically tells you how much water is in the soil. So let me just show you. Okay, so on the 3rd of July, this was the image got from the satellite, NDMI image. And the crop was 9 weeks old on that day. This is the ideal range, and this is what it means to the farm. So it has given you a remark on what to expect. It's telling you that it's going through severe and protracted water environmental temperature stress. Same thing for NDVI. NDVI is a vegetative index, and it tells you, it also gives you recommendations based on that for each day. It also has a health bar. This bar gives you an idea. So if the bar is full, it means you're pretty much okay. If the bar is lower than full, it means there's something you need to check. So weather, I'll look through. Weather gives you forecast, tells you what to expect and chances of rain. So on today is 26, 0 chance of rain on this farm. So let's see, Saturday, no chance of rain. Monday, no chance of rain. Okay, so, so on Thursday, there is a 76% chance of rain on this farm. I can also see precipitation. Okay, so this is probably why there's a chance of rain. On the right hand side here, FarmPal helps to give you a summary of your weather condition as at this date, 26th April, on that farm. It tells you if you need to take note of anything and stuff like that. Then supervisor images. This is actual pictures taken of the farm by images. You see what the farm looks like and if there's something you need to take note of, or you can also use it. This will tell you if there's any disease or pest on the crop. It also gives the coordinates where the picture was taken from and other things like that. Okay. Farm finances, this gives you charts. So as you're recording activities on a daily basis, this just gives you more insight into your finances, your expense, and even sale. Farm Monitor allows you to monitor sales on the farm. And by sales, like sales of your harvest, whatever it is you're selling on the farm, that can be monitored. Then this is your inventory. You have things in your store, you've stocked things. It also you need to restock. You can add different brands. It could be agricultural things. They could be anything at all. Then here I see my harvest. The things that have come in from the farm. invite other people to work on my farm. Manager, supervisor, and workers, and I want them. I can do that from here. Then report variance report. Variance is you're comparing last season and this season, that kind of thing. Inventory reports, work done report, yield reports. This will download a spreadsheet that you can open with Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. And yeah, this is your profile, referrals, and you can always contact support. In a nutshell, this is what a farmer can do. To add a farm, it's a very, very simple process. It allows you to fill in these, and then you can add your farm. I don't want to do this because of time, but it allows you to search for a milestone close to your farm. Once you select that, it takes you to that location on the farm on the map, and then you can now start mapping. Just keep dropping pins like that, and let me just show you that. Okay, so save mapping, and yeah, it has done that. It has put in the coordinates, it has put in the size, and sometimes if Google Maps has enough data about that location, it will even tell you the state and the local government. So obviously, I choose a location that is not even in Nigeria. It's in India, so it didn't give me the state and the location and the local government, which is understandable. But if it was a place in Nigeria, it would have done that. So that's how to add a farm. Now, farmers have been benefiting from this and have been using this to improve productivity on their farm. However, this is also very crucial to people who manage those farmers, because if I give you money to go to the farm, I want something in return. So we decided to also build something for organizations. So I will be signing out from this account so that I can sign to another account that I want to use to show you that. Okay. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using this organization to do that. Like you can see, I can be an administrator in multiple organizations, and whenever I leave the organization, I'll just be removed as an administrator, and work continues. Okay, so this is Leprosy Mission. They had a project last year, and we have their permission to use this for presentation purposes. They had one project, and from this dashboard, organizational dashboard, here you can see everything: extension workers, aggregators, the input vendors, the number of farmers, total number of farms, how much land size all the farms are sitting on, budgets, amount spent, total on all the farms. Then this is that project. You can have as many projects as you want. Project consists of farmers, farms, extension workers. Each project have their own specific to them. So you can see that I have an 8% progress. At the end of the whole farming season, the progress here is still showing 88%. It probably means there were some farms that were added and work was not done on them, or data did not come in for those farms. But we'll get to see all that later. This is that same chart, work done, expense, and schedule. Here gives you a distribution of all the crops from all the farms owned by all your farmers. And you're able to see expected yield, actual yield, expected value of this yield based on market prices, total yield to expect, and stuff like that. This gives you a distribution of all the farms, their location. So you are able to see, okay, in FCT, I have 163 farms. In Soso State, I have Soso number of farms. And then if you now go into that state, it breaks it down to local governments. So because this particular project was actually in just one state and in just one local government, so that's the only thing you see on the chart. So still 162 farms, Kwali local government. Okay, now let's go down into this project. This is where the real magic happens. I selected a project and now I can do quite a number of things. This dashboard you see is similar to the dashboard we're coming from, but it is specific to this project. So I can see my farms, I can see those who are extension workers. I have the same work done expense, but this is cut across all the farms that are in this project. I have my crop distribution, my top performing farms, and then I can see my farmer groups. So let me explain what farmer groups are. So when you are adding your farms, or your farmers rather, you are able to say that I have 1,000 farmers, but I want them to be managed by 10 extension workers, which means that, each farmer group is managed by one extension worker. So you can create different 10 farmer groups. These farmer groups can be grouped anyway. You could say, okay, by state, I want to put 100 farmers in each farmer group. And you are free to use any demographic you want. You can say, I want to split into two, male and female. However you want it is up to you. Create farmer groups. They had just one farmer group, and that was this Yankoji community. Okay, let's go into it and just see what's going on. Okay, so these are their farmers. You can see the phone numbers of the farmers, the land size that their farms are sitting on, and then the progress these farmers have made. You can decide to click into this, and then you will see the farm. So because they could have more than one farm, select the farm you want. I will show you that in a moment, but down here I want to show you something very important. So for this farmer group I just selected, I have people who have assigned roles to. These people could be any of aggregators, input vendors, or sometimes these three persons can be the same person anyways. So in this was the person in charge. And there's something very interesting here that you can use to audit the work of this, who you have put in charge of this farmer group. While they are using the mobile app to get data, to help the farmers and everything that the extension worker is expected to do, you are able to track if they are doing the right thing, or if they are the locations that they are doing what they are doing. So, for instance, you would see a red dot and a lot of other green dots. It means that once this extension worker opened the mobile app, their location is being known, and you can see if they are close to any of the farms. Okay, so on the 18th of October 2023, he was on this red dot, and you can see this blue dot is a boundary of the farm he was working on. So in a nutshell, you could say he was probably gathering data for this farm while he was in this location, which makes sense. But when you can't find any boundary around, it means the farm he's working on at that time is very far from where he is. That means something might be fishy. But all that is just for you to give you enough reasons to be sure that the data coming in is authentic. Okay, so let's go back. Let's just go back. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, just a moment. Okay, so back to the project that we were in. So let me just walk through these sidebars after the other. This gives you all my farmers. Sorry, I can see all my farmers. I can see their unique IDs, their faces, their phone numbers, and the progress they've made. Here I can see all the farms belonging to all these farmers, with the progress made on each of the farms, the stage they are at, the crop, the size, and even location. Then I could select any of these. Let me show you what happens when you select one of them. So this brings you to the dashboard of this farm, and you can see all the analytics. You can see the yield predictor for this farm is going to be here once we launch it. You can see these charts. You can see recent activities that have happened on the farm here, and the cost of these activities. You can also monitor the farm health based on those three things we talked about: satellite, weather, supervisor images. You can also see the harvest, what has come in. If this is not okay for you, you can click here to log in as farmer. It will take you to the dashboard or to the profile of the farmer as if it was the farmer who logged in. and you can see more things. You want to see his inventory, you want to see his financial statements, all those additional things that you can't see on one dashboard like this. It shows you all that. Also, we make it easy for you to monitor input distribution. How does this work? When you are onboarding your farmers, when your extension workers go to confirm the farmers, they take their facial biometric data and any other additional data you want them to take, and this is stored on the system. So when it's time to go and give them input, before the input is given, the app has to verify that it is the same person. So it uses, you have to put the camera on the person's face and the app will tell you, oh, it's 100% match, and then you can give the input. So this way you don't lose inputs. Inputs don't also land in the wrong hands because the app has to verify that it is the right person. And from here you can monitor. This quantity was to be given, this quantity was actually given. So as they are working, as the input vendors are giving this input and are recording it, you are here able to see what quantity was given to each of the farmers. And you have their phone numbers you can use to verify if you need to do that. Then farm monitoring, I've already showed you. It takes you to the farmer group. This takes you to the list of farmers. Then that takes you to the farm of each of those farmers. And it just takes you down the line to monitor the farm. Then harvest and aggregation is the same thing also. If you want to recover, if it was an investment for you, you give them a loan, you want to recover through yield, Farm Monitor does that. This particular project doesn't have any data on that because they were not giving loans. So they were not expecting anything in return. Then farm audit, which is the second to the last thing I want to talk about. After all the farms have been mapped, the boundaries have been mapped, how do we know if these farms are actually in the right place that they should be? How do we know that two people did not claim one farm saying it is both of them are on the same farm? And of course, because you have so many farms and so many farmers, you can't know that just by seeing coordinates. So this one shows you the boundaries of the two farms. So let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see the green farm and the blue farm, and you can see how they overlap. Same thing for all other farms that need to be resolved. So you can call whoever did this job and say, hey, you need to go and check this farm that belongs to this farmer and ensure that it is mapped properly. This is the face of the farmer. Okay. All right. Then emergency. Yes. Emergency. You are able to see this feature allows extension worker that is using the mobile to send SOS. Send if there's an emergency that needs to be sent. Sorry, my connection is a bit poor. A moment. Okay, sorry about that. The connection has kind of okay. So that feature, while I go back there, it's when an SOS is sent from the mobile app, there's an emergency button on the mobile app, and that button sends an SOS request to you as the organization, and you're able to say, hey, I need to attend to this person. So we are working with security operatives as Farm Monitor to ensure that close to where this is happening, we have somebody who we can call who can now reach out to whoever needs to be reached out to. Yes, so this is it. And you can monitor all the SOS calls, when they happened, and a brief description. If the person was able to put a description, all that can be monitored from here. I think I've been able to do justice to this. So at this moment, if you have any questions, I'll be ready to take them.
Before we take questions,
thank you, Mr. Victor.
Sorry, Dimba. Before we take questions, I'd like to just make some additional presentation that explains how we as MAIS are deploying Farm Monitor. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you, but can you speak closer?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's loud.
All right. Okay, good. My name is Benjamin Aduli. I'm the Chief Vision Officer for MAIS. MAIS is an acronym for Mechanized Agricultural Investments and Services Limited. And this platform today is a presentation of what we now call MAIS AI Farm Monitor. It means MAIS Artificial Intelligence Farm Monitor. So what we have done is sign up to adopt the farm monitor as our default farm management system, and then integrate it into the bigger framework we have, which is our AgroC. AgroC is the name of our ecosystem, and that is the platform that will managing our entire ecosystem end to end. So that questions can be reduced as much as possible, I just want to explain to you some of our modus operandi, which we enhance the way that Farm Monitor works. As an organization, the way we are structured, we are built around a national network of coordinators. We have 6 regional coordinators who report to the chief. The basically they refer to the chiefs. What I mean by chiefs, we have 4 chiefs. We have the chief marketing officer, we have the chief operating officer, we have the chief financial officer, and we have the chief security officer. So the 6 regional coordinators report to these 4 chiefs, as it were. So if there are issues of marketing, he reports to discusses it with the chief marketing officer. If there are issues of operations, he discusses with the chief operating officer. If there are issues of finance, he discusses with the chief financial officer. And there are issues of security, he discusses with the chief security officer. So that is the first line. Now, directly under the regional coordinators, we now have the state coordinators who report to regional coordinators directly. Then the state coordinators oversee the senatorial coordinators. Every state has 3 senatorial coordinators, and Abuja has 1. Now, directly now under the coordinator, all the senatorial coordinators are our local government coordinators. So every local government has at least 1 coordinator for a start, and of course, it will grow from there to more than 1, maybe up to 4, 5, or more coordinators in the local government, depend on the size of the local government and the activity that is going on in the local government. So then we now have the local government coordinators oversee our agri extension officers. So also we'll have our own agri extension officers who will report to the local government coordinators. So that way, the entire farm network has feasibility, has face, has human face attached to it. People are actually on ground monitoring and overseeing the activities of this farm. Now, on the farming side, we have farm organizations. Every of our farm is a cluster of farms. Or what, in the context of this presentation, you can call them farm groups. That way, they are cooperatives. Every of our farm is set up on a cooperative. The cooperative can be 10 farm or 50 farm or 100 farm. It depends on the size of the land or the size of the people. Now, within that cluster, you then organize what we call the business support service providers who support these farms with technical support and other value-added support, working with the extension officers. Now, the BDSPs or the business support service providers are deployed along specific value chains. For example, you have a fish value chain, have a fish BDSP who is a professional in fish farming. You have a rice BDSP deployed along the rice value chain. You have a maize BDSP reports along the maize farm. You have a cassava BDSP. So these are professionals who provide support for both the farm and the agri extension officers on ground. So that way, there's clear visibility and there's content, there's people who are involved in providing this physical monitoring of this farm. on an ongoing basis, providing us. This provides us data security. It ensures that the data that we feed into the farms through the artificial intelligence system monitoring the farms are actual data which are verifiable. They're verifiable because the people who actually provided this input into the data system has verified that the data they're providing is actually accurate before they bring it into the system. So that will give us multiple layers of cross-checking the data to ensure that the data we feed into the system is accurate data, ensuring therefore that the result we're going to get from the farming is also accurate farming. Now, we also have our own agronomists who work with us, who we from time to time walk through the ADSPs and coordinators to ensure that what's happening on ground is actually what's on paper. In addition to our own agronomists, there are also our insurance partners agronomists. For example, we are working with ICO Insurance, who will be essentially be providing us with area yield insurance. Now, that allows us to now have more workforce on ground, that will help us to provide the monitoring that we need to be able to ensure that our farmers actually are doing the right thing and doing the right input into the farm. This will ensure that the yield that we promise or what we offered to the farmers as the result, so to say, from the farming is what we are going to get, plus or minus. We'll get it as close as possible to what we have projected our economics of production as well. So for each of the crops that we are farming, we will have enough content that will go into this farm to be able to ensure that what we are farming and data we get is accurate as much as possible. So we'll be able to know, therefore, that the input we are making is going to give us the kind of result that we need. So if we tell our farmers, therefore, that, okay, yes, we want to be able to farm this to get X result and X result, there's enough technology and human visibility to manage these farms and provide the kind of result that we need for them to grow. So that's the value add I wanted to add to the presentation, so that when you are asking your questions, you may not need to be asking questions about something you already know the answers already. That's my input. Thank you very much. Sam, over to you. Sam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. So you can take questions now. I think you should first of all take a comment from Mr. Demola Okewo, who is one of the panelists that's supposed to review the platform and then tell us what he thinks about the MAIS AI Farm Monitor platform. Mr. Okewo, please.
Yeah, that the Farm Monitor platform is actually a very robust robust platform. It actually beats my expectations in the sense that it goes to the nitty-gritty of the farm operations. It covers even managing the farmer to the extent of what they need to do, and give them tips on the consequence of their actions and inactions. So to that extent, I think then it gives you a different layer of overview of the entire farming ecosystem, to even you seeing the farmer going straight to the farmer's dashboard and be able to monitor and get facts and figures. So I think it's robust. However, the other thing I have not seen is confirming. Anyway, in any case, because it's just simply for managing the farmers, there is no market component in it. So that the farmer can sell to anybody, and the moment they sell, that will be the end of it. Okay, I understand that. So basically, the traceability is just within the farming operations. That's what I just want to clarify, because if we are now as an aggregator, as MAIS, if we are now attaching this to a market, how do you ensure traceability? That's the other question that I have. Then also, I noticed that it's focused to, I mean, there are so many crops that you can do with it, but the extent of the crops is what I'm not sure about, whether all the analysis covers all crops that are that are farmed in Nigeria virtually. I mean, practically all crops that are cultivated in Nigeria. Then I think so far this is. I would love to see the app though, because for the farmer to use this app, I expect that it should be a little bit simpler. That is, all the complexities of this is streamlined for what the farmers can access and do. Then the extension officer can now do more. I expect that the extension officer or the aggregator is the one that will do majorly the capturing properly, while the farmer is just focused on recording what he's doing on a daily basis, so that he can now get data insight into the effect of what he has done. I think so far that's what I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr.
Okay,
Okewo.
to this is number one, traceability of the marketing of the goods itself, the products, right? Am I right, sir?
Yes, you're right. Marketing of the produce. How is it traceable to the farm without traceability?
Okay, okay. The second question again is what?
The second question is the farmers, the app itself for the farmers. I hope it's not requiring the farmers to do the complex things in it. Just is basic recording and not go into farm mapping and then weather checking and all that. But he has those information just for knowledge sake, and then he has those tips for when he does something that he's not supposed to do. Is told that, okay, what you have done, the consequence of it is this. That means your yield may be going down, or your production may not come out the way it's expected. Of course, those tips are expected to just pop up on his dashboard based on the consequence of his actions or inactions. Is that what we have?
Okay, Mr. Victor, before you answer, I would also like to ask some questions. And my question is this. Now, we noticed that we all try to play on it. So my question is, does the farmer needs to have an Android phone for him to be able to use the app? And since you're going to set up or an organization is going to use this application, which means they must have an agent that oversees the farmer's usage of such application. Does the farmer needs to input information, or is this the that is assigned to the company? And my third question is, what if I'm always going to be disabling my location? This app has a way of troubleshooting itself, so that even if when you click the app and you disconnect the my location, it will still tell you my exact location without actually compromising the app. So, Mr. Victor, over to
Okay, thank you very much for these observations and questions. Okay, so I'd start from the top. So, like you mentioned, okay, so traceability of the crop, market, that question, where how do we know what is it after the crop is harvested? So what next? So this is something we are already looking into. We're talking with some partners who we can partner with, such that we're able to, once the crop is out of in fact, even before the yield is harvested, we already have people who are ready to buy. And I'm sure that these are things that MAIS themselves are also looking into. So our partnership is actually even going to solidify this particular is going to answer this particular question. Okay, with regards to the number of crops, yes, so because the platform is being it's a gradual process, so not all crops, but we have crop scientists who are working tirelessly to ensure that every possible crop is you can use Farm Monitor for every possible crop. But as at today, we have 6, 9. We have 12 crops that you can use Farm Monitor with. And we try to ensure that these are crops that are very instrumental to the development of the country generally. Those crops that people farm a lot and people would love to have insights to. So 12, and we still have a lot that are still in development. And the reason why we don't just allow you to put any crop is because there's a lot of analytics, a lot of research that needs to go in before Farm Monitor is able to have enough data to support a farmer on a particular farm, depending on the crop. Then you also asked about the ease of use of the mobile application. So the advocacy is that the mobile app should be used by trained extension workers who have Android phones. I would also want to say that the mobile app after you've logged in, you can turn off your internet connection. You can go into any bush, whether there's internet connection or not, the app will work. As long as you've already signed into your account, the app will work. And once you are out, you just sync, and then it synchronizes with the servers and it does all the analysis for you, and you have what you need. However, to the farmer himself, if he has an Android from his smartphone, that's fine. He logs in and he sees his farms. If he doesn't, which most of them don't, they still get SMS. So whenever there is something of concern to the farmer, he gets an SMS. Actually, we send out SMS and email, but we also know that farmers don't have email. So they get SMS telling them that, hey, there is a sudden drop in this. There is this activity you want to do. Don't do it on this day, do it on this other day, because the rain will wash off your fertilizer if you do that. Stuff like that. They get an SMS. So they don't even necessarily have to do anything complex. For them, they just want to know what next to do, and that's what they get. The extension worker is the one that does all the other heavy lifting for them. Okay. I think I've answered 2 questions in one. Do they need to have Android phones? So no, they don't need, or they don't have to use Android phones. And then what if location is disabled? So if location is disabled on the phone, the app will not work. You have to enable location. So you can't use the app basically with your location turned off. Some functions will just not work. And we did that because we knew that location is a vital part of the platform. And of course, you can't even map your farms without your location turned on. So how do you even want to start the process? You can't even create your farm. So you just have to turn on your location sensor. I believe I was able to answer all the questions. If I missed anyone, kindly notify me, please.
Yeah, thank you very much for answering those questions as simple as possible. We all know currently, for instance, now in Nigeria, we all know that the beavers is a verified fundamental application for him, but of end up saying what we saw today. I will not mention all the details. But what I'm not saying is, if peradventure, in the event of disabling this to disable that, or one thing or the other, so that it itself is huge, it wants to at least plays his own effort. Does the app find a way to able to point all those discrepancies? That's what Mr. Kyo said. If you know that we are very, very sure that app can able to pinpoint all those ones, then we can able to know how to can able to sell it. Up I
Okay, so I don't know if it's just from my end, but it was breaking at some point. I didn't get the whole question.
okay, saying is this: we all know the system of INEC, the lost Beavers is fundamental in every election. Now, for instance, now we all know that this your farm monitor app is fundamental for the success of every farm input. Am I right? What if
Yes.
I disable so many apps or so many of the agents, and I notice that from the app, my inputs are low. Maybe the time I should inform the farm about because it's my instruction to him, to the farmer. Let's say I'm from, go and wield, go and cultivate, go and do this. Maybe one thing to the other, I disable the SMS app, I disable email, or maybe I could not able to disable the location. Or maybe the time I supposed to go to meet the farmer, I didn't do that at that time frame. And then I noticed that my inputs is low. The location of the farmland will not be able to yield and be put under pressure. Then one of my coordinates or one of my friends or one of my outside of my zone, I notice his input is more of standard. What if I want to compromise that? Does the app find a way to say, yes, this person is trying to compromise, or this person is trying to do this? And that's why I'm just trying to think out of the box, because anybody can play smart on the system.
Okay, so
Victor, I want to comment. I want to comment before you answer.
Okay, please.
I also want to add now some of the things that is part of the MAIS ecosystem, which I have not added before. One, integrated within the MAIS ecosystem is a farmers GSM network, which we provide in partnership with some telcos within the MVNO operation network, where we ensure that every farm on our network gets a quality GSM coverage, and that gives you data. Because for us, we also need to deploy some sensors at the farm. That's the second phase, where we also get some data from the land. That is not farmer controlled really. It's actually our own AI generated. But that requires connectivity for Internet of Things to work. So we are building our own connectivity network designed to actually provide connectivity in the farm. That way we can harvest data in the farm, not necessarily by depending on the farmer. direct to the land. That's number one. Two, we also deployed home mobile network. Home mobile network is on home mobile phone is our own phone. We do not sell the phone, we give it out free to our farmers. And the phone comes with some AI installed in it that does not allow the farmer to fiddle with the phone. There are some basic functionalities in the phone that the AI in the phone will not allow the farmer to touch. For example, you can't switch off the location. You can't. You can't switch off some of the things. When you try to switch off, it will tell you, sorry, it will not work. Because the phone is designed to give us a 360-degree view of what's happening to the farm. So there are limits to what the farmer can do in terms of changing the features of the phone, because the phone is designed to provide us first and foremost uninterrupted data, both for the agric extension officer or for the farmer himself. The principal primary phone for where farm monitor will be installed is our own phone that is providing additional features that will help us to monitor the farm. So it cannot be manipulated by any farmer. We would disable those functionality at factory level. You cannot even change this functionality. That's what I want to add. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think that answers it. Do I still need to say anything?
Yeah, when it has to do with battery charging, what if it definitely didn't charge the battery because of this turbulent attitude?
You talked about battery.
Huh?
You asked about battery charging. You're in the place you're
Somebody having a dubious attitude. What if the person decide to let the battery run down without charging it? Will the AI take it on?
okay. Um, should I answer that question, or you would want to answer? So battery is battery. If the battery runs down, it means you can't do anything. And if you are an extension worker and you want to be dubious, of course, you can't. You even in your dubiousness, it is that you are trying to record wrong information. That's when you want to be dubious. So if your battery is down, even that wrong information, you can't record it. So you can't even be dubious with your.
That's the question. Let's say you hire somebody who's trying to play with the system. Does the app give room for that, or the app is so much that it cannot give room for any of this?
Okay. So, like I said, the app, our goal, close all these loopholes, close all these areas where people can try to be dubious. People will always try to find new ways of being dubious. And our goal as Farm Monitor is to keep closing those loopholes. So as we discover that, hey, people are trying to be dubious in a certain way, we have our developers always online, always ready to close those loopholes. And apart from that, so far, I know that some of these loopholes would be location specific, because you've mentioned this location sensor turning on and off like about twice now. Like I said earlier, once you turn off your location, you can't even record wrong information because that record activity feature will not work. So you can't even come and give us wrong information when you turn off your data. You have to turn on your location. Sorry. You have to turn it on, then give us wrong information. And then the system will be able to say, hey, how were you able to give us this information when you were not even in the location you were supposed to be? That already flags that record as malicious. And you from the office, you'll be able to see that this record, this user was 50 kilometers away from where he was supposed to be. That already tells you that there's something you need to look into. So yes, we have put a lot of things in place to ensure that even when people want to be malicious and want to play with the system, they are not able to. That's
Let
from
me
the
add
app
to
level.
let me add to what Victor had just said. I'm going to comment more at the phone level because the phone, we own the phone. Farm monitors provide the app. You see, first of all, people are only dubious for a reason. It's not people are not just dubious for the fun of being dubious. Now, let me tell you some functionalities of our phone. Why our phone will not just go down. First, the phone represents income for everybody carrying the phone. And anytime your phone is off, you are losing money. So I don't see why anybody will go and switch off his phone because he wants to do something that will make him lose money. So that's an incentive we are created to ensure that the phone is constantly on. So the man will find a way to charge his phone because if the phone is down, he's losing money. That's number one. Number two, the AI also do power management in the phone and ensures that the phone has longer longevity. So any app you are not using at any particular time, it shuts it down, and that saves power. Three, every of our business phones comes with a power bank that works with it, that goes with it. So you're expected to carry the power bank with you and charge your phone even though you are in the bush. So when you are at home, you charge your phone and charge the power bank because that phone is a business tool for you. It's not just a phone you are carrying just for fun. Now, our program also involves creating power for the rural areas. For example, we are working with Power Horse System of India that uses rice husk, maize stem, and everything for biomass to generate power. And I'm talking power at the community level, not just power to charge your phone or those solar powers. I'm talking real power for distributed power for the rural area. So that is why when we say that this platform is an Airbus 380 size SME Solutions Ecosystem. We mean it. We take it very seriously. That's why it has taken us 14 years to build because we have had to find solution for every angle of. It's not as if we have all, but we are thinking. Our labs are working. We are looking for new ways to solve this problem. So yes, power is a big challenge, but yes, we are working on it. Connectivity is a big challenge. I think we have a solution, but we're working on it. Then, Internet of Things. We will use sensors that we will plant inside the farm to generate data that is not controlled by the farmer or the extension officers. These are sensors that are generating data from under the ground, under the floor. We can see the water level, we can see the nutrient level, we can see things that ordinary eye cannot see. All of these are fed into our AI engine and generate data that will give us information that even you as a farmer does not have. So we are working with people on a very, very integrated level. That's number one. Another thing also is we don't just pick any farmer on the street to work with us. No, our farmers are vetted through a cooperative program where the leaders of the cooperative actually vet who work with. So we don't just walk in and pick up any Joe on the street. No, these are people who are recommended by people who know them and they provide for the integrity, at least to an extent. So it's not just anybody on the street you pick up and make him a farmer on a MAIS ecosystem. No, our farmers go through a verification process that help us so that relatively these are the people who will think about crime first before we think about good things. So in that case, we believe that criminals in our ecosystem will be an exception, not the norm. So it will not be that everybody is trying to fiddle the system. Because the system is your own good. Why would you want to destroy the system that's working for you? Which is why our team is working 24/7 to ensure that we've addressed all the concerns of the farmers and ensure that they will be successful farmers. That's what I want to add.
All right. Does this AI system and the IoT uses the internet? If yes, then how do we accept the rural areas that do not have internet connection system or the facility?
I've said that we have an obligation. We provide our own GSM network for our farms. So any farm estate we build, there will be internet there. No matter how remote that farm is, there will be internet there.
Mr. Plot.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for this your concise inputs. So if there's any questions, we have 30 minutes more to go for this presentation, and we call it a day. But if there's any breakout or you want to have one-on-one with Mr. Victor to also put you through on the website on how to use the app, maybe, or you want to review this presentation, we'll also send you to cut out when our team is editing it, so we can also cut it out and show it to you so that you can view it on our platform, either Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. So if you have any questions, just raise your hands up and we'll bring you up and then you can ask questions. Mr. Carlo, are you the one? Right,
Yes,
right.
I'm here. I wrote an action plan towards this currently because I needed the presentation very soon. Then what is the action plan? Because after presentation and there is no action, I don't think we will actually done anything. Anything to say.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the last part of this presentation. We're talking about the action plan. Today is actually a mock presentation today that is focusing on the production side. The entire ecosystem is going to be unveiled on the 1st of May. That will be both an in-house, in-person and virtual presentation like this, inviting all our ecosystem partners to Abuja, where we will formally unveil the MAIS Airbus 380 SME Solutions Ecosystem. The enumeration will start from Kogi State, where we already have 10,000 farmers from Women in Agri Cooperative Federation. Kogi State government is also identifying another 10,000 farmers. So Kogi pilot will involve 20,000 farmers. Enumeration already has started. We will start onboarding them into the MAISAi farm monitor network, hopefully for the first week of May, once we finish the setup process, which is already ongoing as we speak. Now, we also will start onboarding farmers in other states. So after today, we will call the regional coordinators to send to us clusters of farms in their region that are ready for the pilot starting from the first week of May. So that's why we've insisted that all regional coordinators should be in this meeting today. What we expect from the regional coordinators after today is to send us the list of clusters in their region that are ready to start. We don't expect them to do that in person. Just send a message to your state coordinator, who will send a message to the Nigeria coordinator, who will send a message to this local government coordinator. Send us the list of clusters that are ready to start pilot by the 1st of May. What we need, as we have explained today, is just basic information. The data will keep going from there. Victor, I'd like you to please repeat again, what is the basic information that is needed for us to onboard any farm within the MAIS ecosystem? Please repeat that for everyone to hear very clearly, so that the regional coordinators are equipped for the data they need to provide for us. Please repeat that again.
Okay, so what is needed is, most basic is your first name, last name, phone number. Email is not required, but if it's there, it's fine.
No, please. No, for us, email must be there. I don't want it's not required. For us in MAIS, every farmer must have email. It doesn't cost anything.
Okay, okay, all right. So
Yes.
first name, last name, phone number, email, state and local government. Now that's for the creation of the farmer. That's the most basic. There are many other things that they can add to this, but this is required for even the system to run. I think other things regarding to the farm that can be captured from the app.
So I'm looking at your website. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm looking at the website and I notice your pricing for farmers. You mentioned 2,100 per square meter. That's 0.1 hectares.
No, don't
let's say
talk
I have.
about pricing. Pricing. No, we have a pricing arrangement with them already. We sorted that out.
Okay. So we have a different pricing arrangement with them. Okay. I'm just walking through the website. That's it. Okay. So Mr. Ben, any action plan and then.
But did you capture the basic data that they require for each farmer?
Yeah, which is the name, the phone number, the emails, and local government and location of your farmland. Am I right, Mr. Victor?
Please, I'm sorry for
You can
drawing
add
us back
gender,
a little.
gender, please. Gender, male or female. That would also be important.
I'm sorry for drawing us back a little bit because the network was very bad in my area and it's very hard to connect until I got signal. Please, I want to. I'm really sorry. Let me ask a little question. First, please, how many farmers are required per cluster?
How many
I
farmers
don't
can
know
do
if that
what?
has been said. How many
Huh?
farmers are required per cluster? How many farmers are required per cluster?
Oh, no. That is not. It's not mandatory. You decide. The person.
Okay.
A cluster can be 10, can be 5, can be anything. It's not mandatory.
Okay. That means 5% can manage maybe like 1,000 hectares or something like that. I think
Yes,
it's possible because
yes,
the way I
possible.
can.
However, you remember that for MAIS ecosystem, the minimum a
Yeah.
farmer can farm is 2 hectares. There's no maximum. There's a minimum. Every farmer on our ecosystem must have a minimum of 2 hectares of farmland on his name. That is number one. Mr. Yusuf, I think I saw you raise up your hands.
Yeah, I want to call in on that. Also, Mr. Victor, please, is there any age limit? If I'm a 80-year-old man, I want to also do farming. Is there any age limit to be a farmer to use this app?
The platform does not have an age limit, but MAIS could choose to have an age limit. That's up to MAIS.
We have an age limit. Don't worry, we have.
Okay.
We don't want old men.
Mr. Yusuf,
We don't want old men here. We prefer the young ones. Old men.
Mr. Yusuf Ibrahim, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Good day.
Yusuf, I hope you're not an old man, though.
I am not. I am waxing very strong. So yes, I have been. It has been a very good discussion so far, and my major issue is it: are we farming only rice or those 13 commodities that has been stated previously?
Team mines at the moment,
Maize and
this year
some granules.
we're only farming rice, maize, and cassava. Rice, maize, and cassava. However, If a farmer then wants to farm anything outside that within the farm monitor arrangement, it can be arranged. But our funding does not cover it for this year. The funding arrangement we have to this year is only covering rice, maize, and cassava. We'll expand that later down the line, but these are the three crops we are farming in this farming season at the moment. All right? But for the
Okay.
benefit of this house, I would like Mr. Victor to name those 13 crops that the farm monitor already have intelligence to farm, so that going forward, that will guide us in expanding our farming activity. If you have a record now, fine. If not, we can do that later on. But we'd like to know those 13 items or 12 that you mentioned, that intelligence is already in the farm monitor.
Okay, so let me just list them out. We have maize, rice, sesame, wheat, groundnut, cotton,
Hold on,
soy.
please. I'm typing it down. I'm typing it sesame,
Okay,
wheat.
the third was sesame. 4 is wheat.
Mm-hmm.
5 is groundnut. 6 is cotton. 7 is soybean. 8 is
Is what?
8 is cassava.
We have cassava, okay.
9 is sweet potato.
Wheat. Mm-hmm.
10 is cowpea or beans. 11 is sorghum. 12
Mm-hmm.
is tomato. Then oil palm will be joining in
What about
before
millet?
the.
Tomato.
No, there's no millet. No millet yet.
No
It's
millet,
still
okay.
in the works. Oil palm is almost out. Oil palm will be joining any moment.
Or,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, it's nice. The list covers almost all the basic things we found here. It's advisable. Let's still post it on our platform so that we're able to have a very good reminder and have a very
So,
good
can
coverage.
you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Of those things I type, can anyone see the screen that I'm typing them?
Based on the chat,
No,
Yeah, yeah.
from the chat.
If you are
Yeah.
on the presentation, are you seeing my screen?
no.
It has not come out. So what I told him is Victor from Monitor, Wrestling,
Yes, that's it comes up as it comes up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can see.
I want to also ask that the Farm Monitor website should be posted here also. So they can also release it and know what is sustainable and what is not. And more information from that. Hello.
That's the website.
I'm not saying it. Oh, understood. Okay. Farm Monitor, that's Africa. Okay. I think I have to copy it. Is that right? Thank you very much. You want to bring it down to me and I will beg that you making sure the post so that I can take them as a because yeah, in Anambra and have 1,000 hectares, 1,200 hectares, 1,200 hectares. We also have more than that in other states. So I think if we have all it, if we have all of it in the game, I can make contact with the landowners and we'll be looking this for work. You know.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we've captured the basic information. This program is recorded. Um, Sam, how soon can they get a recording of this program so everybody can download it and listen to it again? Sam.
In the next 1 hour, or yes, the next 1 hour, I'll still need to work on the editing part of it. So let's say in the next 6 hours from now, we all should have it.
Okay. Now, I will thank everyone for coming today. We'll now move on to all action. Now move on to first, when we'll all meet in Abuja in person, or those who want to connect online can connect. More information about this will be sent out. Only financial members will be welcome to attend the event in Abuja, both online or offline. Only financial members of MAIS ecosystem will attend. This meeting, our partners will be there, our financial partners will be there. We're also inviting some government people. We hope they come. If they come, good. If they don't come, we'll move on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in our meeting today. It's already over 2 hours. It's already 1:21 minutes. So we thank you. This meeting was planned to be 2 hours meeting. So we thank you for joining us. We'll see you in Abuja on the 1st of May. Thank you very much, everyone.
Before you guys go, before you log off, we would like to appreciate the organizers of this event, MAIS MAIS Limited. We also want to appreciate Connect Multimedia Purpose in person of Mr. Olufemi Williams. We also want to congratulate Mr. Okewo for coming on this program, on this live event. Getting data is not easy. We also like to appreciate you for coming. Thank you very much. All these presentations will be sent to you in 6 hours from now. You can download it from our presentation. We'd like to appreciate Mr. Ben, CVO of MAIS. We also like to appreciate Mr. Olufemi Williams, CEO of Connect.com, who made this presentation available. For your presentation, let's try to imbibe or appreciate our one and only, more like a Zoom, but we are working on to get it better than Zoom. So if you want your presentation to be like this, it's more clarity is there, the presentation is there. I can even see all the presentation slides without pixelating or without buffering. So I really have to appreciate Connect for such wonderful software they are using right now, and at the same time we are using right now. So every one of us that is online, we appreciate you, Mr. Ayodeji, Mr. Victor for Farm Monitor for coming and then making this presentation so easy and understandable. Mr. Ademola, Mr. Davies, favorites, Adejimi Samuel, Mr. Ruben, thank you very much, and then Mr. Yusuf. I appreciate you all. Good to have you. So thank you very much for this. At least we meet up with exactly 12 noon to end this presentation. For every further information, you still connect us via the group. And any question you can ask the CVO or me. My name is Mr. Samuel Dimba, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer for MAIS Group, London, MAIS Group, Nigeria. So thank you very much and have a nice day.